That's some glowy armor. Sorry, just needed a drink before we carry on. In fact, they're both glowing, aren't they?
That's 4 reports of avalanches in the mountains now. The Tearsmen can barely count past 9. They have neither the capacity nor the cause to close off the mountain passes. Either way, that leaves the 2nd and 4th cohort trapped outside the valley.
The Archon of War pounds his staff on the ground to punctuate his words. A large and imposing man to begin with, his profile is made larger still by his hulking suit of armor that hums with mystic energy.
Or it's the work of your perfidious Earthshakers. Only a fool would not suspect a traitorous Archon of poisoning the mind of his students with sedition. We would have killed the Earthshakers Guild for their master's treachery, but I'm sure you have some perfectly valid reason for allowing them to live as your pawns.
The Archon of Secrets passes a scepter between his hands as he speaks, twirling the rod in hypnotic circles. Emerald luminescence seeps from the seams of the Archon's ragged red robes. The glow is most noticeable where his neck ought to be. His mask seems to float and spin, never pivoting or bending naturally. Huh. Twirling rod. You hear the voices in your head. Well, hello there, Fatebinder. We'll be with you in just a moment.
Hey, watch yourself. When these two get going, you don't want to get between them.
First whispers fearfully as she beholds the Archons. I'm going to remain silent and let them argue a bit longer.
I always know you've run out of things to say when you resort to mocking my vassals. If we are to speak of treachery, why is it that my scouts see the Scarlet Chorus warriors defecting back to the Vendrian Guard? Your fearsome reputation has gone flaccid, for it seems you cannot control your soldiers, or perhaps you simply choose not to.
Okay, Iron Marshal Arenos, which is the guy at the back there. My lords, the Fatebinder has arrived. The disfavored commander raises her voice, trying with little success to speak over the Archons. Perhaps we could table this discussion and let our guests speak.
Speaking of strategic failures, who was it that insisted the valley would need only a token garrison? For some strange reason, we can't seem to recall which balding halfwit grossly underestimated the enemy. Thoughts?
So the voices say, "Can you hear us, Fatebinder? Cough, if we have your attention." His leather wrapped hands flipping the heavy rod with an effortless flow. So we will cough audibly.
And I thought you had left agents within these Tearsmen when they surrendered. Either you failed to see this coming, or you knew and let it happen. Incompetent or in cahoots, either way, this mess has your filthy stink all over it.
The Archon of War lurches forward, resting his weight on his war maul as blue luminescence crackles around his armor.
We look forward to seeing you explain to Tunon why the Archon of War could not close the vice on this trivial little insurgency. When we are crowned the ruler of the Tears, we shall have this place renamed to Ash's Folly in your honor.
And the scepter says, "Good, good, now pay attention, you might miss something." So we shall remain silent again.
If I could trust the information I get from you and your conscripted mouth breathers, perhaps I'd order my cohorts around a bit more aggressively. But last time I trusted your all-clear report, my troops failed to come home.
Oh, Ash, old boy. If you're going to have a little sob every time one of your nieces or nephews dies to the Tearsmen, perhaps we should have Siren sing you some calming lullabies to help you cope with your grief.
Siren is the Archon of Song, and the youngest Archon sent to conquer the Tears. Young and inexperienced, Siren, sworn to the voices of Narat, uses her powers of charm and manipulation to swell the ranks of the Scarlet Chorus with volunteers, quote marks. And the Scepter says, "Take care that you don't learn too much, Fatebinder, and excessive knowledge curiosity even can earn unwanted attention. And now the marshal's getting involved again. Hold your tongue. I will not have you denigrate the honor of our fallen brethren. The commander's hand moves to the hilt of her blade, and the weapon stays sheathed. I'd be doing us all a favor if I cracked open that excuse for her head. Fifth Eye. I didn't even notice he was in the room. They bicker like children, do they not? The Fifth Eye's grating tenor pierces the tension in the tent, and all eyes land on the Crimson Spear. I meant only to say welcome to our guest, the Fatebinder. The armoured retainer bows with rushed inelegance, then rises to a salute, and not a moment too soon. He's with the Scarlet Chorus. In favour with both of them. Governor Malakith Skadi, long have we been honoured by your iron, now we are honoured by your presence. I must apologise for my lords, tempers run high of late. We don't have the diplomat option, so we can glare silently or bow. Apologies for the sudden entrance, I've travelled long to be here. I'm tempted to go with glare silently. I think I will.
Ah, the Stormcaller. Conveniently late once more. Our eyes and ears tell us you come bearing an edict. The anticipation is killing us.
And the edict will as well.
My soldiers tell me you helped Commander Drotus on your way through Edring. You honor the court with your selfless cooperation, for that is the sort of camaraderie that Kairos demands of us all.
On the last of his words, the Archon of War glares at the voices of Narat, furrowing his brow as he utters the word camaraderie. Okay, so we've got a few options. Require no thanks for doing my sworn duty. Come bearing an edict. Are you all done bickering? I have an edict to proclaim. Or bow, it's an honour to be here. We'll go with the stuck up. I require no thanks for my sworn duty.
Modesty is your prerogative, but know that cooperation and goodwill have been rarities of late. You do your Lord Tunon a great honor by aiding your cousins in the disfavored.
Oh, don't mind us while you trade your gushing praise. We're sure the Fatebinder has come because our company lacks in small talk.
So I come bearing an edict of Kairos.
It seemed only yesterday you were proving your worth in battle, assisting my warriors in the siege of the bastard city. Now Kairos has chosen you for a second time to proclaim an edict. Tell us, good Fatebinder, what sort of punishment does the Overlord have in store for the Oathbreakers?
If we hover over the green stuff, conquest decision, which we made back in the first episodes. The bastard city, now the site of Tunon's court in the Tears, was taken in the first year of the conquest. In concerted effort between the disfavoured and Scarlet Chorus, the first and last battle wherein the two armies acted in relative harmony. So, the options we have are the Overlord's loyal servants must hold Ascension Hall by Kairos' Day of Swords. All in the valley shall perish. Seems you need some encouragement to work together. Kairos' edict will end the lives of everyone in the valley unless Ascension Hall is claimed by Kairos' Day of Swords. Or in honour of your incompetence and disarray, the edict will execute every living being in this valley unless Ascension Hall is taken by Kairos' Day of Swords. How much of a dick do we wish to be? I'm going to go with the top one. These imply that they're incompetent, which, they may be, they may not be. We don't have enough information. The earth sways with each word you utter, the air thickening with warmth as you pronounce the tersely phrased commandment. Its every syllable drafted by the hands of Kairos. With the edict proclaimed, your pulse quickens and the muscles in your legs, worn from a long trip down the mountains, feel renewed. Tired limbs now nearly buoyant with vigour.
The Overlord means to compel us into action. No doubt the avalanches in the mountains are part of this ultimatum. We must conquer the Oathbreakers or die in failure. There is no room for error, and no other way out of this valley alive. We'll need to advance across the Matani. We lose everything if we stand still, and we move to back up Plan Green. The Earthshakers didn't make it over the mountain in time. So we do this the hard way. Over the walls instead of through.
Archon of War taps a finger against his temple. A low rumble escapes from under his beard.
So you found your backbone at last! Oh, we were worried past humiliations would make you soft, timid. That was a record for you, right? A baker's dozen lost in one sortie. If you had waited for the chorus reinforcements, maybe we'd have eyes and ears on the matter.
Archon of Secrets passes his scepter from one hand to the next, and it says, "Watch him squirm, so many tears over replaceable, expendable, useless soldiers. I miss the old Archon of War. You'd never see blood echo in a bubbling mess over a few dead killers. He'd used the knuckle bones of his best disciples for jewelry, and even made a breastplate out of his dead brother's... ... Bicker all you wish, we're just wasting valuable time. Are you too daft? It's your own indecision and bickering that necessitated this edict. Learn to work together or we're all doomed. Remain silent or subterfuge. They call you the Archon of Secrets, but you certainly don't seem to know anything remotely useful. I'm going to go with learn to work together or we're all doomed.
The Fatebinder is right. We're acting not as leaders, but as children. I've no time for your foolish japes and petty taunts. We should focus on the objective at hand, and that is taking the Mittani River, and then advancing to Ascension Hall and ending this edict.
And enough talking, there is work to be done. Our lives hanging on the balance because you two bicker like children. Now go solve this problem you've started. No more sitting idle. I expect the disfavored to be on the march at once. All voices of Narat, I trust you are done acting the clown, and we'll have your horde ready to march with all haste. We'll go with the top one. My Lord Barrick. Who's Barrick? Though you know him only by name, Barrick is commander of the Stone Shields and well regarded by the disfavored High Command. Okay, so my Lord Barrick and his band have been drilled on Echo Hall assault plans. Echo Call assault plans. The Crescent Runners should be briefing him as we speak regarding the latest enemy movements along the river. I will dispatch him at once. Diane Marshal salutes, clapping her gauntlet to her breastplate. I will ensure the chorus stands ready to march. If the disfavored can take the river, the chorus has the manpower to secure the outer ring of the valley.
Our soldiers clamor for battle, and at last we shall have it. Verse, we command you to continue guarding the Fatebinder. Tunan's chosen is our honored guest, and must be shown our finest hospitality.
Why do I get the feeling she's some kind of nasty spy?
I won't let you down, boss. He'll get through the campaign and win peace, as long as he doesn't do anything too stupid.
And the scepter says, suit yourself, Fatebinder, the more you ignore us. Ignoring you? What are you on about? Then taps the fifth eye on the shoulder and the two depart.
Finally, the fool and his puppet are gone. Perhaps now I can hear myself think. Rarely do I question Kairos' judgment, but I will never understand why the voices of Narat is given such authority. I shudder to think what will become of us all should Tunon favor him in the end. Though the edict threatens the Scarlet Chorus just as it threatens us, I cannot shake the feeling that our allies will work against us. You've shown your worth in war, and your name has been known to the Legion since the very beginning of this long conquest. So I'd ask that you join us this one last time, to help us wrap up this last objective. If you wish to be counted amongst the glorious, speak with the Iron Marshal. She will direct the order of battle until we are ready for the final push into the Citadel.
I'm short a few scouts, short a few soldiers, short a few everything. I'm sure my brethren would be grateful for the assistance of a skilled outsider. And what of the Scarlet Chorus? How will they be helping? I want to find that out before I say that I'll help.
I ask myself that question often. While we take the river crossing, The Scarlet Chorus should be using their sizable presence to remove the Oathbreaker patrols lurking in the Outer Valley.
Oathbreakers have maintained a sizable force outside the Citadel. We need the Koros manpower to scour the region, otherwise the Oathbreakers will attack at our heels once we cross the Mittani. Right, I'd be honoured to help. The Iron Marshal salutes Gravenash, then turns to leave the tent. I'll be at the training grounds readying the soldiers. Find me there when you are ready. Pauses clearing her throat. And though I am loath to mention it, the Koros can likely use your assistance. They certainly won't secure the Outer Valley on their own. Fifth Eye will be somewhere in that rat's nest they call a camp due east. Seek him out if you must. Now that you've delivered a word of Kairos' edict to the armies, the time remaining until Kairos' Day of Swords appears next to the current date on the navigation bar. The terms of Kairos' edict must be met by this date, or everyone in Vendrian's Well will die. I'm fairly sure on your first 3 playthroughs you are not going to succeed, from what I remember reading of this. It's kind of designed that you play it multiple times through to learn what you're meant to do each time. So I don't think it's an idle threat. It's very much a real problem. Remember this guy being here before. Fatebinder Malakith Skadi, am I right? I'm Sevus, commander and 3rd generation disfavored. Specifically, I'm Sevus the Younger. Some folks can't keep track. Rank says commander, but lately I'm just organising patrols and trying to stay out of the way. You should talk to Iron Marshal if you're something official that needs discussing. What is it that you need? I overheard you asking the Earthshaker where their reinforcements have gone. Is there a problem? Why do you think the siege has delayed for so long? The 2 armies haven't worked well together in years. Why do you think that is? Right, we'll ask where the reinforcements are. Radix, the head of the Earthshakers, was supposed to arrive with a group of his most competent spellslingers to help break the stalemate. I don't know what's holding up their arrival, and that worries me. If you're inclined to lend a hand, we could use some arcane support on our side. I'm not sure I have arcane support. Sounds terrible, but I have other matters to consider first. He's being a little bitch. And here I was under the mistaken impression that you had come to break the siege. I won't make that mistake again. For you.
Yes.
Alright, let's go see the other factions' camp, shall we? Ooh, it takes time, of course it does. Go on then, let's go there. Rotting body bearing Scarlet Chorus warpaint is skewered upon a wooden spike. Also some chests out here. Water. Ooh, what's going up here? Shivershank and Quiet Shiv. They're from the same faction? Alright, let's get involved. Quiet Shiv. It proves everything. The warrior slams her fist together in a resounding clap. Like, for instance, whether you are fit to lead that flock of children. Behind are the members of her gang, posture with weapons held at the ready. Shivershank, did you not hear the news of the edict? This is a foolish distraction. We ought to be saving our fight for the enemy. The chorus warrior looks at his gang, giving them a quick nod. So, what's the problem here? No problem here, Lord Binder. She tosses her blade in the air, catching it with a smile on the way down. Captain Fuckwit here seems he's about to balk from this challenge. It's just because he used to run a ship, he's qualified to run a gang. He spits on the ground looking up with a scowl, so I'm calling him out. Because the way I see it, his warriors ought to follow me, not this new blood. Captain Fuckwit was my father. Fuckwit will do just fine. I like this guy. The warrior points at the opposing gang. If we have to prove our strength, we'll do so happily, but I'll have your hands and feet removed and the rest of you kept for my own use. So we can go, this is foolish, or I'll let you all fight this out. Have a wager? Or let me join you. I enjoy a good bloodbath. I guess they're the same, yeah. Thing is, if we join in, we might be able to prove we're the strongest and get them all to follow me. That's the only thing I can think. Let's give it a try. Sharpfish's grin cuts across the face. Be my guest. I've always wanted to see a Fate Binder in action. Shivershank. He falls pointedly quiet, but finally shrugs one shoulder, seemingly smart enough not to protest. Oh. We had a subterfuge option, but we don't have a high enough stat for it. So let's settle this. I'll fight for quiet Shiv. Prepare yourselves to be defending Shivershank, or just use athletics, beat him bloody, then I'll settle it with strength. We gain 89 athletics skill experience. You turn to Shivershank and grab him by scruff of his scraggly beard. Keening with both shock and pain, he can barely fight back against the sheer force of your strength as you repeatedly punch his face until all that's left is a bloody mess. He crumbles to the ground as everyone beside you slowly, tremblingly backs away. I'm just going to walk away. Well, lots of people survived that then, didn't they? Neither leader. Oh well, that didn't go to plan. Let's have a look at what we just picked up. Red spiral is carved upon the wooden cover of the papyrus notebook, handwritten within is haphazard and inscrutable, the work of an unpracticed, poorly trained wordcaster. Few entries contain recognizable sentences. A book appears to be a journal of the Scarlet Chorus commander, detailing troop movements, times, and locations are noted alongside numbers and pictures of trees, sticks, figures, and rocks. The author either didn't know the words for lumber, ore, and people, or just felt more comfortable with pictures than words. While much of the journal is inscrutable, the corner of every page is the day's head count for the author's brigade. With some days note dozens of losses, the brigade appears to be recruiting far faster than its members are dying or deserting. Actually, I'll keep that on me in case I need to show it to somebody. The boots can go down. What does she use? One-handed weapons. 8 to 11. Oh, it's bent. We can just sell that. Okay. How's that compared to what she's currently wearing? It's better by the look of that. On it goes. Guard places her hands by her belt as you approach, gripping the hilt of a blade. Past this point, it's Koros territory, and you don't look like somebody's conscript. You sure you're in the right place? I'm Malakith Skadi, Fatebinder of Tunon. I'm here to help vanquish the Oathbreakers. You know, I think I was told to expect somebody, but you seem too ugly to be him. Her lips crumple into a smirk. Why exactly should I let you in? And we can try and talk about it, or I can step in close and push her down. Before she can draw her blade, you advance, place your foot behind hers, and give her a stiff shove on the shoulder. Caught off balance, she tumbles backwards, triggering an outburst of laughter in the other guard. I can't believe you sassed a Fatebinder. You're such a stupid ponce. Didn't I tell you we had a special guest coming? The guard waves you in with a smile. Come on in, and don't let that ninny shitters in the camp give you any guff. This is almost like reading orc chat. These arrows are splintered, they're fletching mottled, they are likely pulled from corpses. Gonna have a chat with people then. You! Much an accusation as a question, the broad-shouldered woman shakes her head with a scowl. So you're Tunon's Fatebinder. I was expecting something more impressive. She bows in spite of her misgivings. Death knell, Scarlet Fury. My time is yours for as long as it amuses me. Fighter effortlessly spins a bronze sword about in her hand. Let's get one thing clear. Stick to your words and law, leave the fighting to the grown adults. Your corpse would just be a tripping hazard to those of us having a proper bit of carnage sport. We've got enough useless twats dying for our name as it is. All our Horde recruits seem good for, of late, is piling in a shit-reeking mound on the battlefield. Probably should have had a language warning on the start of this video. She hums low to herself and flips the sword side to side with several deft flicks of her wrist. Keeps up, and we'll have to toughen our recruitment standards again. Now what do you need? So we can ask a load of questions. What's her role? Can you tell me? Got me again, I'll bury that blade in your belly before you can scream. Were you expecting? You said something about the Horde thinning. How's military life treated you so far? Let's ask about the Horde thinning. Swelling until it's thundering, then crashing and receding. It's been the way of the chorus for as long as I've been in it. He offers a one-shouldered shrug, ambivalent if anything, but more likely just uncaring. We take our prisoners alive, give them a chance yet to live, to be reborn into something better. Putting any and every able body to the sword like this favoured do is nothing but a waste. A conquered enemy is but a new ally. It merely requires the power, the proper coercion. Of course, we do sometimes have the problem of lingering loyalties. Deserters are rarely successful in their escape, but they do try. The Venturing Guard, strengthened by their numerous blood ties, have been particularly stubborn. I've a better plan hatched. And what might that be? I'm thinking we redouble our efforts to recruit settlers, focusing on the unaligned, unsuspecting, instead of flushing ourselves to the gills with oathbreakers claimed from the battlefield. How exactly do you plan to convince them? Her knife point has sufficed well enough in the past. You've inspired me to try a more diplomatic approach this day. What do you say, Binder? You might be able to ease them into the idea and save the lives of their friends and neighbours in the process. Means expediting the end of this meandering conflict, so be it. Sure, why not? Sounds like a bit of fun. I'm not doing the Scarlet Chorus's dirty work for them. Get your own horde to do it. Sounds like a good plan, to be perfectly honest. So, sure. My methods are surefire, you'll see. I'll mark the settlement on your map. She grins, biting her bottom lip bloodied. I can't wait to see the outcome of your efforts. Oh, the barrel is full of murky red water, severed limbs bob under the greasy skin. Battle plans are scribbled over a blood-stained map of the tears. Arrows point toward the inner ring of Vendrian's Valley, and small circles are drawn around the citadel. What's in the chest? A shattered glass vial. Alright, let's go talk with this guy. That's none disfavoured. Hail, Fatebinder of Tunon. Disfavoured officer pounds a heavy gauntlet against his chest in a stiff but warm greeting. Were I a betting or a superstitious man, I'd say fortune must favour me today. I am not. I'm pleased to meet you all the same. Now what brings you to my little slice of personal damnation, otherwise known as... He spreads his thickly gloved hands wide. This here mud and shit stinking chorus camp. Anything you'd like to report, soldier? Maybe you noticed something unusual during your time here. Gets his head to one side, taken aback. But the chorus isn't unusual. The army itself is a strange, malnourished beast. But no, the screamers seem mostly in order, sir, and I haven't been spying, if that's what you're implying, sir. Still, as opposed, he studies you sharply, scarcely appearing to breathe. Of course, even if I was, it'd be damn near impossible to learn anything from this ship's die. Fifth Eye and those damn Furies don't even loop me in enough for me to do my detail, and not for lack of trying on my part. You mean? Have we lost favour with the Scarlet Chorus? They're not aware of what we're talking about. I'm not just here to keep a steady eye on the Oathbreakers, who they give far too much freedom after conscripting. I'm here to be a resource for the benefit of both armies. I can provide insight regarding proper stratagem and request a stock of troops from Iron Marshal Arenios for reinforcements if needed. They won't listen to me, nor confide in me, nor fight beside the brethren I could request. Our lives are at risk, and even then, you can't get along with the chorus. Begging your pardon, sir, but I've never fought a battle where my life wasn't on the line. Sure, it's kind of the nature of war, isn't it? Good point, but not the one I was trying to make.
What do we have here?
Some people on stakes. Fifth Eye must authorize all prisoner visits. These spears appear brittle and rusted. Basically, their equipment is terrible. Oh, look what we have here. Chewing on some manner of cowder, heavy-set soldier flings spittle and crumbs as she talks. The faint binder finally shows himself. I'm Rig, the second shoulder chimes in, and this is Baz. We're wondering when you might pay the camp a visit. The Fifth Eye has been a little starved for attention. He ordered us to watch you like a troublesome babe. Make sure you don't get out of line. Something like that. If you have questions, ask us. Good luck finding anyone else in the camp who'll give you answers or even a smile. I'm not even going to bother talking to them. Alright, there's Fifth Eye. That looks like some plans.